Okay, let's wrap up this arithmetic combination examples. Let's see. So the first part we stopped at number 7 because the video was getting a little too long and maybe you needed a break. I did too. Okay, but let's go ahead and get with this. All right, so let's start with number 8. So number 8 is a composition, and you want to start with this, right? You want to put the 3 in place of the in function j. So if I put 3 here, j of 3, which is going to be 5 minus 3. So j of 3, which is 5 minus 3, is going to be 2. So this is going to equal 2, which means j of 3 is 2. Then you're going to take the 2 and you're going to put it into the function f. So now it's f of 2. So here's f. I put 2 in there. That means just 3 times negative 3 times 2, which is going to be negative 6 plus 2. So the answer will be negative 4. Okay. So rewatch that. If you got a little lost, rewatch it again, rewind it, look it over. That is, answer is negative 4. Okay. This next one, this is another composition. H with negative 1 in there. So I'm going to put negative 1 in H. So H right here, negative 1, which means I'm going to put negative 1 right here, which means negative 1 squared is 1. 1 times negative 2 is negative 2. Negative 2 plus 9 is going to be 7. All right. So answer is, so H of negative 1 is going to give us 7. So H of negative 1 is 7. Now I got to look at J of 7. So here's J, and I'm going to put 7 in here, which means I put 7 in here. So J of 7 is 5 minus 7, which is negative 2. Okay. You just kind of work it out. Okay, this next one. With G of negative 5. So here's the function G. I'm going to put negative 5 in there. Negative 5. So this is going to be negative 5 divided by 5, which is negative 1. So G of negative 5 is negative 1. G of negative 5 is negative 1. Now I need to look at H of negative 1. So H, and I'm going to go ahead and put negative 1 in there. So H of negative 1, so put negative 1 in there. Actually, it comes out to be the same amount. Right? H of negative 1, yeah. So H of negative 1, that's going to be negative 1 squared, that's 1, times negative 2 is negative 2, plus 9 is going to give us positive 7. Okay. Okay. So this time around, it's f of a. We don't have a number, so we're going to have to use a inside f. So f, we use a. So f of a is going to be negative 3a plus 2. Again, negative 3a plus 2, we're going to put that. So we're going to put negative 3a plus 2. I'm going to put that inside of the function g. So here's my function g, and I'm going to put inside of it negative 3a plus 2. So I'm going to put it right in here. So what does it equal? Well, it's going to equal negative 3a plus 2 divided by 5. Okay, and that's the best we got because we can't work that out anymore. I mean, you can separate it with each having each of the numerator, the top part, to be over the bottom, but it's not going to get any better. Okay. So you can rewrite it as negative 3/5 a plus 2/5. Okay, but like I said, that doesn't look any better than what we had before. So we can just leave it either way. Okay, I'll leave it like how I had it before. Okay, f of x plus j of x, right? So f of x is this right here. J of x is this right here. So f of x, I'm going to write that down. Negative 3x plus 2, and then I'm going to add that to j of x. So I'm going to add that to 5. I'm going to put 5 back here because it's going to combine. And then minus x, I'm going to put it right here. So what do I get? If I add them up, I'm going to get negative 4x plus 7. Okay? Because negative 3x and negative 1x makes negative 4x, and then positive 2 and positive 5 makes 7. So my answer, negative 4x plus 7. F of x minus h of x. So I'm working with f of x, and I'm working with h of x, which is right there. So f of x is negative 3x plus 2, and then minus, this is the important part, because now I'm going to put h of x in here. H of x is negative 2x squared plus 9, which means that negative is going to distribute through both of these terms. So it's really going to be negative 3x plus 2 plus 2x squared minus 9. Okay, and the only ones I can combine are the positive 2 and the negative 9, because the other two I cannot combine. So my answer is 2x squared minus 3x minus 7, because negative 9 and positive 2 makes negative 7. Okay, back to composition. F with negative 5 in there. So here's my function f, and I'm going to put negative 5 in there. So here's my function f, put negative 5 in there. That means I'm going to put negative 5. So negative 3 and negative 5 is 15, and 15 plus 2. Right? So 15 plus 2 is 17. So that makes 17. So f negative 5 is 17. Okay, and the 17, you're going to put that in place, or in the x for g. So you put 17, and it's just 17 over 5. Okay, you can't do much for that. Okay, you can get a decimal, but it's not going to be pretty. So I'm going to leave it at 17 over 5. Okay, next one, g with negative 2 in there. So there's my function g. I'm going to put negative 2 in here. So it's going to be g with negative 2 in there. It gives you negative 2/5. And you're going to put that into f. So you put negative 2/5. Or the negative 3 times negative 2/5. Okay. So f of negative 2/5 is going to be, so you got negative 3 and negative 2 makes negative 6, or positive 6/5. And that's plus 2. I believe that's a plus 2. Yep. Okay. Combine it, you can use a calculator, but unfortunately I don't have a calculator. So I'm going to put this over 1, and I'm going to get common denominator of 5. So times 5 times 5. So really it's 6/5 plus 2 times 5 is 10 over 5. So you're going to get a total of 16/5. That's how you add a fraction and a whole number together. And you've been doing this since 6th grade, I believe. So the answer is 16/5. Okay, 3 times f of x. So here's f of x. I'm going to times it, multiply everything by 3. So that's going to give us, so I'm going to write it down below this so I can keep track. So it'd be negative 15. Oops, sorry, negative 9 x plus, and then 3 times 2 is going to be 6. Okay, and then I'm going to add that to, and then g times, or 5 times g of x. So here's g of x here, and times it by 5. So 5 times g of x is 5 times, I'll write it down. So it's going to be 5 times x over 5, which is really 5x over 5. And if these cancel, you're just going to get x. So it's really negative 9x plus 6 plus x, which together it's going to give you negative 8x plus 6. Okay. Watch it again if you didn't catch that. Yeah. F with 2 in there. So f, if I put 2 in there, I put 2 in here. So it'll be negative 3 times 2 is negative 6. Plus 2 will give us negative 4. So f negative 2 is going to be f of 2 is going to give us negative 4. And then now we're going to put negative 4 into g. So right there, which means I put it right there. So it's going to end up being negative 4 fifths. Okay, moving along. Just f of x, and then we're going to put in g. So here's the whole f of x. It looks like that. I'm going to put it all into g of x, or the x. So that means it's going to go right there. So that's g with f of x in there. Okay. So that's going to look, and I'm going to put it down here. It's going to look like negative 3x plus 2, and then over 5. Okay. And again, that's the best we got, unless we want to, rewrite it. And we already been down this row before. I already did on number 11. It's the same as going to be number 18. So, okay. So we went down that road already. Okay. So I already showed you how you can rewrite that. G of 1. You're going to put a 1 in G. Means you're going to put 1 here. So G of 1 is actually 1/5. You're going to put that into F. So F of 1/5. So you're going to put 1/5 here. So what do we get? So we're going to get negative 3/5 plus 2. Okay. Use the calculator to help you do the rest of the work, or you can, like me, without a calculator, put a 1 underneath the 2, because that's really 2 over 1. Common denominator of 5. So we really get negative 3/5 plus 10/5. And together, we're going to get 7/5. Okay, kind of like number 15, but a little different because we're doing different kinds of math. Okay, so the answer is 7/5. Okay, that's the last of that one. Okay. 20. You want h of g of x. So we're going to take g of x, and we're going to put it into h of x, okay? Which means it's going to go into the x. So what do we get? We're going to get 3, and then instead of x, we're going to use x squared minus 5 plus 2. Okay, to shoot this out, it would be 3x squared minus 15 plus 2. And 15 plus 2 makes negative 15 plus 2 is going to be negative 13. So I'm just going to fix this right here. Okay, you heard me say it. So minus 13. That's all you got. Okay, we got g of x times h of x. This is not a composition, but a arithmetic combination. So we're going to take g of x right here, and we're going to multiply by h of x, which is right here. Okay, you can do area model. Do distributive property. I'm going to do distributive property because it saves me some space. Okay, you can do area model. It's pretty straightforward with area model as well. X squared. So x squared and 3x is going to give us 3x to the third. X squared and plus 2 is going to be plus 2x squared. Negative 5 and 3x is going to give us negative 15x, and negative 5 and positive 2 is going to give us negative 10. Okay, and we can't do anything with these because none of these are like terms, so that's all we got. Okay, 22, negative 2 times g of x. So take g of x, multiply everything by negative 2. So I'm going to do that right now. So negative 2 times g of x, so that's going to give us negative 2x squared. Negative 2 and negative 5 is positive 10. We're going to add that to h of x, which is 3x plus 2. Okay, that's h of x. Okay, and because it's adding, we just put them next to each other, put a plus in the middle. Nothing really changes unless we have like terms. So let's see, do we have like terms? Negative 2x squared, nothing like that. 3x, nothing like that. Only thing that's like is 10 and 2, which is plus 12. Okay, that's all we got. Okay. 23. department store has marked down its merchandise by 25%, later decreases by $5 the price of an item that has not sold. Okay, write a function to represent the price after the $25 markdown. All right, so we'll call that one f of x. So we'll call that f of x. Okay, so the original price is going to be x, and it's going to be marked down by 25%. So it's going to be minus whatever the original price is, multiplied by 0.25. Okay, and just like what we did the other day, if we're marking down with 25%, if we factor the x out, we get 1 minus 0.25, and we'll actually be at 0.75. Okay, so this f of x function, you can easily write that as 0.75x, which is much, much easier or simpler. So if you're marking it down with 25%, we can say we're actually paying 75% of it. Okay, write a function g of x to represent the price after the $5 markdown. Okay, so g of x would be, if you had an original price of x and you're going to mark it down by $5, so it's just minus 5. Really nothing else to that. Okay, use the composition function to find the price of a $50 item after both price adjustments. Right, so this one says that it's marked down by 25% and then later by 5. Right, so first we're going to take the $50 and we're going to go ahead and mark it down by 25. So this will be F, and then we're going to do $50. Okay, so we're going to do that first, and then we're going to do G of that because we're going to subtract 5 from there. So it'll be 50 into the F function, so it'll be 0.75 times $50. And then after that, we're going to put that amount into the G, which is going to go right here, and that's going to be minus 5. Okay, so whatever that makes. So let me see. I got a calculator next to me, but I don't have one on there, so I'm not going to pull it up, but you can follow me. 0.75 times $50 gets me $37.50. So that's after the first mark now, and then we're going to take away $5 from there. That's going to be $32.50. Okay. Does the order in which the adjustments are applied make a difference? Yes, it does. Okay, so that's what G of f of x, or f of 50 looks like. Okay, that's $32. This is actually what's going on right now with their description up here. Okay, but we did it the other way. If we did it with f of g of 50, okay, so which means that we're going to take the $50 and we're going to subtract. So g of 50, so g's right here. So we put 50 in it. It's going to be 50 minus 5. Okay, we're going to get that answer, and then we're going to go ahead and multiply it by 0.75. You can see it'll make a difference. So 50 minus 5 is, you can follow along with the calculator if you have one, is $45. And $45 times 0.75. So 45 times 0.75 is going to be $33.37 or 75 cents. So $33.75. So the order does matter, right? So if you take off $5 first and then apply 75%, paying 75% or the $25 markdown, you're going to pay $33.75. Or if you take the 25% markdown, meaning paying 75% of it,